Welcome to Destination Staffordshire's Best in Class Reputation webinar. This is a six-part webinar incorporating understanding what your audience is, who your audience is, what you're selling, managing your marketing messages to manage expectation, and building excellence into your business, as well as how to gain good reviews and manage negative ones. So this is part 3, and we're going to be focusing on building excellence in every part of your business. We've already, as I've mentioned, clarified what you're selling and to who, and we've already talked about building marketing messages that manage expectation in part 2 of Best in Class in Reputation. Building excellence in every part of your business is so important. We've already mentioned in parts 1 and 2 that building excellence from the beginning is the building blocks to your reputation tower. And all those tiny little building blocks really build up a complete picture in the minds of your customers. And understanding which of those building blocks are more important, which ones that can't be left out, and also understanding, however tiny the building blocks are, how important they are as part of the complete structure of your reputation. So first of all, we want to establish what excellence looks like in your business. All of you will have a clear idea of what you're hoping to deliver to your customers, and I'm sure that that is of high quality, and everybody has great intentions of creating good experiences for customers. But what does excellence look like, and how does excellence fit into every part of your business? Really, you can start at the why in your business again. So think back to why you set up the business in the first place, why you're located where you are, why you have the values that you do, why you take such great care over breakfasts or events, or such great care over your restaurant menu or your sourcing. Why is it that your business is in existence, and why is it that you get up every day to provide that service for your customers? And that really helps you start to build what excellence looks like in your business. When we talk about excellence, we're not talking about some good customer service or a nice breakfast or, it's got a good view out of the window. What we're talking about is every small element of somebody's experience from their first Google search to the moment they leave your building has excellence written all over it, that every element has been thought about, which creates the excellence that you are hoping to achieve. So that every element of a search, of a customer journey, of the booking, of the arrival has excellence in it. And it's really where the magic moments are created. Were you over and above helpful? Were things already thought about before the customer had to say anything? Had you already imagined what they were looking for? Had you already empathized about where they were in life and what they needed from you? Did you really truly invest the time in understanding the relationship you have with your customers? And have you invested yourself in that relationship to watch and to listen as much as you talk back or communicate with your customers? Have you really taken the time and the care to understand what excellence looks like for them? So it's really important then that you maybe do an exercise after this webinar of writing down all the elements of the customer journey that your customers experience from that first search or recommendation right through to the moment they leave your building or your place. And what are all the tiny little elements that look like excellence in your business? And this again might help if you look over previous reviews, or you think about what customers have said to you, or you think about what your staff or your colleagues have said, and pull out all those different elements. And if you're unsure, it's always worth asking other people outside your business to look in, because we quite often as business owners forget those little elements of excellence that we kind of take for granted, we automatically do, or maybe we've let drop off because we didn't think they were important anymore because nobody mentioned them. But just because nobody mentions things doesn't mean that they don't, that 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 little element isn't a crucial building block in that tower of reputation that you're looking for. It's also important to note that your story and your why, which we've just discussed, plus the people in your business, is where excellence lies. Because excellence isn't just about the stuff that you do, but it's also about the human to human experience that somebody has as part of being, as part of using or booking or being part of your business. So it's really important to understand the role that the people in your business plays, how you are, everything from the way people are dressed, the way people manage their body language, the way people communicate, how authentic that is compared to the marketing messages that your customers have seen. One of the greatest compliments people can pay is that they arrive at a place and say, this is just like I imagined it would be, or this, you are just like I imagined you would be, or your staff are as wonderful as everyone says they are. That kind of accolade really shows that you have worked on your excellence, but also that your messages and your the expectations of your customers have been met and have been exceeded. So story plus people really is where your excellence lies. So if you manage to write that list of excellence down, all the tiny little minutiae, and keep coming back to it over a period of days, if you get stuck on 10, then sleep on it and see if you can find 10 more the next day. And don't be afraid of how small all those tiny elements are. If it's down to the quality of the doormat when they arrive, then write that down, because that is part of your excellence. If it's down to, the quality of the mug in the bedroom on the tea tray, then that's important too. So if you're struggling a little bit and you think, oh, that's too small, then sleep on it and head back to that list afterwards. So if you've made that list of excellence, then have you told your story of that excellence, and have you discussed that excellence with your staff? Now, when we talk about staff in business or the people in your business, quite often it's easy to do some basic training, which might involve how to do stuff, how to make things or make a bed or tidy something or clean something or how to organize something. And that's all laudable and important. But have you really sat down with them and shared your feelings about the direction that you want your business to go in? It's so rare in tourism businesses that all the staff fully appreciate and understand where you're trying to head in terms of your reputation tower. It's kind of assumed as part of training. For example, if you're training some waiting on staff, it's assumed that you've said to them, well, make sure you're smart and make sure you smile and ask the customers if they liked their meal. These are all important, but do they really get where you're coming from? Do they really feel invested in your business and in your story? And do they feel part of the solution? Do they feel part of that building that reputation? Because bringing those members of staff into that process not only adds value to their job, but it also guarantees that they are more likely to provide the excellence that you require of them for your customers than if they are not invested in the story, in the why, in your business. So we talk about excellence. We've talked about what excellence looks like in your business. We've talked about how it is the minutiae in the business. It's everything from the tea bag to the quality of the mug, to the welcome, to the quality of the food, to the view, to the ease of parking, to the experience on Google, because we'll talk about this a little bit later in later webinars. But sometimes there's a little festering worry. There's a little something that that your customers, everything else is okay, but there was this one thing, and I'm going to ignore it, I'm going to move on, but it sits there and it niggles at them. So it's about unpicking all those tiny little bricks, but it's also about breaking down each part of that excellence into their experience. So understanding it from their point of view, not just what you think your excellence should look like. So what is your breakdown then? Let's go back to the customer journey. Let's head back to the beginnings of the building blocks of your reputation tower and think about the dreaming phase, which is the beginning of most journeys for any tourism or leisure customer. So they're dreaming of a relaxing break, or a family fun day out, or a dreamy picnic with a view, or an ideal walk with a pub at the end. So this is what they're dreaming about. And they're thinking about that based on images, videos, testimonials, and reviews. What do all those things say about the excellence in your business? So we know we've talked about this in previous webinars. We've talked about, the importance of quality content, whether things tell your story, do you understand your customer? But actually, in this dreaming phase, how do you exemplify the excellence in your business and building it into every part of their experience too? So if we think about that dreaming phase, how can you make that dreaming phase excellent, or have excellence through it for that audience member? How is excellence shown in their dreaming phase? Is it the quality of the images and video that they see? Is it that the content you use as part of your marketing plan focuses in on those tiny elements of excellence? Is it that you pick out a review to share as part of your content that talks about, I loved everything about this place, but the thing that was perfect was the handmade chocolate on my pillow? That little moment of excellence, that little magic moment. Are you providing that excellence at the dreaming phase? Are you giving them every opportunity to really indulge in that dreaming phase and really feel like they can find what they're looking for in you? Then we move to the planning phase. So how do you show, or how do you build excellence into that part of your business? Because in many ways, the planning phase is beyond your control. You might feel that that planning phase happens on Google before they even book with you. So how can you possibly have excellence in that part of your business? Well, you can. If you have an audience user or a Google searcher who is on Google, they're looking for this dream experience that they are trying to plan, and your website and your social media stands out and has excellence written all over it, then you are aiding that planning phase, and you are the people that they are drawn to when they head towards the booking phase of their journey. And in that planning phase, is your Facebook page optimized to the max so that every last question is thought of? Is your website set up so that it's so easy to navigate that everything they could ever wish to know about your place is available to them at the click of a button, without any searching or looking around or moving around your website or trying to get lost? Have you ensured that excellence is in the navigation of your website? Have you ensured that your Google business profile on Google is up to date with the best excellent pictures you could get on the front as the cover of your business profile? Is the pin right? Have you thought of everything in your description so that their questions are answered about the experience they're hoping to get from you? Are you available on Messenger? And do you have a very high response rate so that if they are planning phase and they quickly have a question, you are there to respond to them quickly? Have you set up excellence across your business to ensure that that answering service goes on when you're not around? So it's breaking down that excellence right down to that, because If they kind of think you're great, you look good, they think you're going to deliver the experience that they're looking for, and they have one little question about the parking facilities, they can't quite find the answer, and they message you. They never get an answer, but they still go ahead and book, and you're lucky, and they go ahead and book, and they have a nice experience. But then on the day they leave, somebody's bumped their car. That parking question that was never answered 6 weeks previously is suddenly a niggle. I always knew there was a problem with the parking. I always felt that there was going to be an issue with that car park. They haven't thought that car park out very well. And immediately you can see how a very small building block could begin to fester. So it's really important never to underestimate how ensuring that your staff knows who's on duty to answer those messages on time, promptly, and politely is key. So talking to your staff is again, really important. So let's move on to the next phase of the customer journey and think about booking phase. Again, it's very easy to assume that booking phase is the kind of uninteresting functional part of somebody's experience, that really it's just about the paying bit, and as long as it goes okay, then that's fine, isn't it? Well, is that excellence? Is the booking process super, super easy? You don't want them to think, I've booked my holiday, that's good, tick box. What you want to think is, wow, that was amazing. I've never had an experience like that when I book somewhere. I wish all websites were like that. That's what you want to get. That's where you want to get to in terms of excellence. So is it easy? Is it online? Do they get something special for booking direct? Can you incentivize them? Can they create a bespoke booking online and easily? Is it obvious that they can add in added value extras? Can they book a bottle of wine? Can they book special seating? Can they ensure that they're next to the roaring fire? Can they get priority parking? All those things need to be seamless and easy, and you need to go above and beyond what you would normally expect in a booking process. So rather than saying, thank you for booking with us, if you'd like priority parking, please email Sue from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock tomorrow. Is that excellent? Or is it more excellent at the booking phase to say, thank you so much for your booking. Please tick this box and we will ensure that your priority parking place is available at no extra cost. That is the difference between good and excellent. So it's really important that that booking phase happens. Then we move on to the experience side of the customer journey. And again, it's really important that the experience that they have has excellence right through it. And this is really key to your tourism business. You will know that the experience section is the most vital part, or you might have perceived it as being the most vital part of anybody's reputation building. But experience really is the icing on the cake. You hope that they have experienced excellence throughout their customer journey to this point. But they have finally arrived and they have been welcomed and they are starting to experience your offer and your product. Again, building excellence into that is so important. It's the difference between, there was somebody there at the desk and they were quite smiley and they showed us to our room and that was it. Great. I mean, that's good, isn't it? That's acceptable. Somebody was there, you smiled. How could you make that excellent? How could you build the best-in-class reputation at that point? How can you make that arrival or pre-arrival or luggage carrying feel like a 5-star service? Not only were your members of staff smiling, but they immediately said, let me sort those bags out for you. I will get them to your room. Please leave them alone. I've got tea and coffee waiting for you with homemade biscuits. Would you like them in your room or would you like to sit in front of the fire while you wait? And we will sort out all your check-in for you. So you can start to work out how that excellence happens. And that is the only way to stand out in reputation. It's okay being good. It's okay being smiley, but to get the reputation that's best in class that you want, you've got to think about taking it to the next level, making that welcome over and above what you were expecting. So even if it's the ticketing people at the gates of your event, or whether it's the welcome at the desk, whether it's your waiting on staff in the restaurant, whatever, whichever part of the experience somebody's having, the toilet facilities, we want to see beautiful towels, fresh towels, clean toilets. But hey, wouldn't it be great to have hand cream too, and a bit of hairspray, and maybe a little bit of extra perfume to spray? Those kinds of excellent magic moments really build reputation. And then finally, the sharing phase of the customer journey. Sharing is, again, perhaps something you feel is beyond your control. This is something that somebody's going to do whether they like it or not. They're going to share. But what we're really hoping to do is to have compelled your customers, and so they have had such an excellent experience. It's been so over and above what they were expecting, that they feel compelled to share it with friends, tagging them in, saying, look, hey, this is where we are. Look at us, aren't we lucky? This is what we're experiencing right now. This is the best cake we've ever eaten. This is the best restaurant we've ever found. This is Bob, our server today, who was amazing. Bob was dreamy. Whatever it is, you want them to feel so compelled that even those people who wouldn't normally write a review or write on social media, for example, feel so compelled because they feel dizzy with happiness after they've left you. You might think this sounds over the top, but in fact, this is where reputation gets built. So we've broken that down then. We've broken that excellence in every part of your business down into the customer journey, because it is so important to focus in on the experience from your customer's point of view. So we've talked about the dreaming, planning, booking, experience and sharing sections, and how you can start to build excellence. And what might be useful for you to do after this webinar is to take 5 or 10 minutes to think about all the elements of excellence you bring in to that experience for your customers. And are there any elements that are good? That they're good and they're people like it and you're smiley or whatever. But how can you take that up to the next level so that it becomes over and above what they were expecting? So to conclude, excellence is everywhere, from the start of that very first Google search to the happily ever after. You want to stay in touch with them after they've left. You want them to want to share you with everybody for weeks and months to come, so that when their friends say, I don't know where to take mum out for her birthday meal, they say, I know just the place, don't go anywhere else. And people will always pay more for that too. So you'll often hear people say, don't go anywhere else. You'll pay a little bit more, but boy, will it be worth it. So stay in touch with them, build a relationship, invest in that relationship, and remember that excellence has to be in every element of your business.